Hello YouTube, welcome back to another installment of Draven's Hyrulean adventure. It's been a while since I started this series, but it's something that I'd like to continue. The first episode saw me unboxing and showing off the Zelda-themed Wii U gamepad cover. So we're going to continue along, and this series is mostly going to be dedicated to items outside of the video games themselves, although there may be a little bit of discussion about the games in future videos as they come out. Now, the Legend of Zelda is hands down my absolute favorite video game franchise of all time, and I was hooked on it basically from the moment I first played Ocarina of Time. Until this very day, looking very forward to getting Breath of the Wild for the Wii U when it comes out. And when I do eventually plan on buying a Nintendo Switch, probably not right away, it'd be something well down the road. But with the game, one of the first games I do plan on getting for that, and I may even pick it up before I end up getting the Switch itself, just to make sure that I have it, is going to be Breath of the Wild. But this isn't going to be about Breath of the Wild, it's not going to be about the video games themselves, so we'll just kind of move these out of the way. One of the accessories that I want to talk about when it comes to the Legend of Zelda are the Nintendo Amiibos. So for those of you who aren't aware, the Amiibos are sort of like little statues that have a NFC chip in them, so they communicate using near-field communication, and different games use them in different ways. So, for example, they were originally released with Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, and they allow you to use NPC characters that train, they level up, and they can become tougher opponents to face off against. So it's kind of, I guess, like a sparring type of thing. Or you can, train up your amiibo, you can customize it with items, gear, and see how it plays against well-established players. I think there was actually a tournament here in Canada where a Fox McCloud amiibo went all the way pretty much to the finals, and that was just based off of like the training that they gave it. So, but I'm not going to talk about the Fox McCloud amiibo here. I want to talk about the Zelda amiibos that I own. I don't have the entire set of them, unfortunately. Some of them were pretty well discontinued by the time I actually got my Wii U. And as much as I probably should have gone back and purchased them, regardless of whether the fact that I had a Wii U or not, I just didn't. So we'll start off with the very first Nintendo or the Zelda amiibo to come out, and that is the Link amiibo from Super Smash Bros. And this thing is just super cool, and it's amazing how detailed these amiibo really are. It's absolutely fantastic, like the amount of detailing on the sword, the Hyrulean shield, even work on the chainmail that looks like it's underneath his tunic, and even a little gap in the tunic. I don't know how well it's gonna show up on camera. There we go. See, there's even a little gap in the tunic with some chainmail and it's sculpted in that they painted in. So just a lot of really great detail. Alright, in fact, you know what, let's just, maybe to make things a little bit easier, let's clear out all the background dressings. And it might make it a little bit easier to focus on the amiibo itself. So let's just give that a shot and see how that works. The second one that I picked up is the Ganondorf amiibo. And again, this just looks really amazing. It's based off of the Ganon model from Twilight Princess, which is what they used in Super Smash Bros. So it's got some nice detailing on the gauntlet, the wound on his chest, and the cape. Back of the head even has some nice detailing on it. It's just a really cool figure. And again, like I said, these have different effects. So in Yoshi's Woolly World, for example, you can scan the amiibos, and it unlocks costumes that are based off of the amiibo that you scanned. So when I play it with my fiance, which we've only done a couple times, but I usually pick either a Link or Ganon amiibo, and she uses her Princess Peach one. Similarly, in Mario Kart 8, they unlock costumes for your Mii characters. And in games like Twilight Princess, for example, you can scan the amiibos for different effects. So if you have a Link amiibo, it will refill your arrows and bombs completely to full, which you can only use once per day. So I'm assuming it's based off the calendar on the game itself, or on the system itself. If you use the Ganondorf amiibo, What it actually does is it makes the game harder because you take double damage from everything, which is really cool. So I've used that a few times while playing the HD remake of Twilight Princess to make things a little bit more challenging. And if you have a Zelda one, Zelda or Sheik, they refill your hearts. So I don't have a Zelda or a Sheik. Those are the ones that were really hard to find. Now, speaking of Twilight Princess HD, it did come with its own amiibo as well. And I've got it right here. So this is the Midna and Wolf Link amiibo. Now, as you can tell, I haven't taken it out of the packaging, and I don't plan on it. I was hoping that it was going to be made available for individual retail. It does have a barcode on the bottom, but I haven't been able to find it in any store anywhere. So I don't know if they ended up ever releasing this as an individual item, or if the only way to get it was with the HD remake of Twilight Princess. So with that in mind, I just did not want to open up the packaging, because it's just such a cool looking package. I was hoping to buy a second one and I'd open that up to use. Because unfortunately it does actually unlock, I think, what's called the Cave of Shadows. If you use it in Twilight Princess, and I don't really know what that is, unfortunately. I'll have to look it up and maybe watch a video of it, but I just, again, I just can't bring myself to take it out of the packaging, and unfortunately, one of the features that a lot of the Nintendo Amiibos have is there's a little metal disc, or like a foil disc type of thing that they have wrapped around the bottom of the base, so that you can't scan it through the packaging, which is really unfortunate. The Shovel Knight amiibo, which we do have, actually didn't include that, because they know that amiibo collecting is kind of a thing, so they let it so that you can scan it through the packaging. But the Nintendo ones, unfortunately, just don't have that option, so you can probably even see little paper tabs down there where it's folded over the thing, which is really unfortunate. So I'll never get to, unless I can find one somewhere, like I said, I'll never find out what the Cave of Shadows is, which is kind of sucks. But again, just a beautiful sculpt, some great detailing work on there, and just really fantastic. It looks like the back of the little hand thing for Midna's hair is actually translucent as well, which is really cool. Now, in late 2016, Nintendo released a wave of Nintendo Amiibo, or Zelda Amiibos, celebrating The Legend of Zelda's 30th anniversary. So again, I had to pick these up, and again, unfortunately, these are going to be all packaged as well. I might, if I have extra money at some point, I might go and buy secondary ones just to open them up. But let's have a look at those 30th anniversary ones now. So the one I'm going to start with, actually, is the 2-pack, which has Toon Link and Toon Zelda in it. So I bought this a little while ago, and it was a Christmas gift for my fiance and I. Her having the Zelda amiibo, and me having the Link amiibo. And Wind Waker is one of those games that I think is underrated for a lot of reasons. It was a game that when I first saw the cartoony style was so dead set against, and boycotted it and had no interest in it, and even went out and bought Star Fox Adventures because that felt like a true Zelda game as opposed to Wind Waker, until I actually got a chance to play a little bit of Wind Waker at my friend's house. And ever since that moment, I was pretty sold on the game. Probably still not the strongest Zelda game. It has the lowest number of dungeons, I think, in any of the main Zelda games. And it has one quest that at the end we have to reassemble the Triforce of Courage. It's just absolutely tedious. They did fix that in the Wind Waker HD. They made that a little bit easier to go through, but again, just really cool amiibos. Unfortunately, I don't know how it's going to show up here, but it looks like a little bit of gold paint got dripped on Zelda there, but other than that, again, really cool looking figures. You can't really see the shield on the back, but it is the starting Wind Waker shield. It's just really cool poses as well. I like the fact that he's actually got the Wind Waker out and has like the wind blowing. It is a different pose from the Toon Link amiibo that was released, which again I never ended up picking up. I think the standard Toon Link one has a running pose similar to, if I recall correctly, similar to the original Link one. But I just think that this is such a cool set here. And again, this shows what it does in different games. or what games you can use it with. So you can use it with Twilight Princess, Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS and the Wii U, as well as Hyrule Warriors Legend. You can use it in the regular Hyrule Warriors as well. And what they do is they grant you different items for some of the different characters. And it can be used in Breath of the Wild. And I don't know much about that information yet, but it'll be cool to see what they do once that game comes out. Again, these ones will probably stay in the packaging because it is just such a cool looking package. Alright, the next one I want to show off is from one of my all-time favorite Zelda games. And that is the Link Amiibo from Ocarina of Time. So Ocarina of Time came out in 1998 and is highly regarded as one of the most well-reviewed video games of all time. A lot of people include it as one of their best games ever made. I certainly feel the same way. Although I've got to be honest, as time's rolled on, I've become slightly more of a fan of Majora's Mask than Ocarina of Time. The two games complement each other really well, but this has Link playing the Ocarina, and again, it's got the Hyrulean shield on there. And it's actually a little bit bigger than the shield that comes with this, but again, it's got all the lovely paint detail. They went with a different coloration for the Master Sword, so it's more of a purple with sort of a blue grip, whereas the other one's sort of like the classic dark blue, but still looks really cool. And again, I had to get this because Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games. And yeah, this is another one of those ones that will probably remain unopened for all eternity. And the last one that I wanted to show off here was the third in that series, and it was really, really cool series. And what it is it's from the original Legend of Zelda. It is the 8-bit Link. Now, when I got my Wii U, it was the Mario Maker Edition, which came with an 8-bit Mario. And this is an 8-bit Zelda, or Legend of Zelda Amiibo, 8-bit Link Amiibo, and it looks really, really cool. They actually did a really great job with it, and just making it look like, you know, the 8-bit sprite. No matter which angle you kind of look at it from, it, you know, looks like the sprite from the video game, which is actually really cool. The only thing that's kind of weird, in my opinion, are the hands, because it's got like the two parts there. I'm going to assume that one's kind of the arm, and then you got the hand that extends out from it. It's got the shield, which actually it actually bears the cross logo, which I've kind of surprised by, just because even the original game had the cross on it. But when you think about it, Nintendo of America really censored religious iconography in their video games, so the fact that they actually left the cross on the shield was pretty amazing. But as you can see, it's got like the background from the Legend of Zelda in it. The original one, some of the areas you can visit. And cruddy thing is that the packaging's a little bit damaged up here, but again, I'll probably keep it sealed. It just looks so cool. And again, it could be used in the various games. So anyway, that's just some of my Amiibos that I have in my collection. I think Amiibos are actually a pretty cool thing. And even if you don't have a Wii U, but you're a fan of you know, classic Nintendo characters and series, they're awesome little statues, even if that's all you use it for. Here in Canada, they tend to retail for around $13 to $15. But that's still not a bad price, considering, you know, the amount of detailing on them, and, you know, they do look really cool. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're a fan of Legend of Zelda, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to, you know, hear some of your stories from your experiences playing some of the Zelda games, and we'll see you next time.